If you're depressed AF, this video is for you. If you feel like it's impossible to heal from the pain in your heart, or if you feel like you're stuck in a situation in life that you just can't get out of, it's exactly how I was feeling in 2013 after losing my mom to cancer 3 months before my son was born. 13 months later, I came to the conclusion that the pain I was living with in my heart wasn't going anywhere, and for 13 months, all I did was sit in my garage alone. And one day I asked myself a question that I never asked before. And that was, if I could see myself living another 20, 30, 40 years with the pain that I had. And the idea of that became so overwhelming that I decided about an hour later to try to take my life. Now, one thing I've come to learn is that if you're depressed, thinking about ending it, this and that, you're believing some things that aren't true, and because of that, you've come to some conclusions. For me, it was like, well, if I'm never gonna heal, if I'm never gonna be happy, what's the point of living, right? And I remember, thinking back to those days where this might sound like an exaggeration to some who've never experienced depression, but I was so depressed, there was times that I would be sitting in my chair and I would tell myself, okay, it's time to get up. It would literally take me an hour sometimes to move. I remember trying to get up and I couldn't move, and it got to the point where I'd break out in tears because I literally didn't have the energy to get my body up out of a chair. And when I look back at some of the biggest things that I've done to get myself out of that situation, is first identifying the lies you're telling yourself, and then let yourself understand that there is a way out of anything. It's not an easy journey if you're that far gone, but it's possible. I look at where I am today compared to then, and if I could make an appearance to myself back in 2013, I'd have to tell myself, it's possible, we made it. So some of the big things besides identifying the lies you're telling yourself is paying attention to the music that you're listening to, and also try to become an observer of your thoughts and pay attention to how those thoughts are making you feel. And music is drugs for the ears. It can either be an upper or a downer. You put on a good tune, sometimes you feel invincible. That new Miley Cyrus song comes on and you're driving alone and you've been single for a while, you sing out loud, you feel like a rock star, right? But if the wrong song comes on, it can be the difference between life and death if you're suicidal. I remember when my mom was passing away, there was 2 songs commonly being played on the radio: Rihanna, I Want You to Stay, and Luke Bryan, Drink a Beer, which resonated to my life story. And anytime those songs came on, it was like instant tears. I actually had to pull off the road sometimes. So pay attention to the music that you're listening to, and then you have to become observant of the people you're hanging around with. How are they making you feel? Where are they at in their life? Can they help you get to where you want to go? Then you want to pay attention to your diet. We are what we eat, and if you're putting fast food shit full of chemicals, full of horrible energy into your body, guess how you're gonna feel. I remember before, when I was eating fast food garbage, I was like, oh, organic, you have to pay more and it's not even as tasty as this cheeseburger. Why would I do that? But nowadays I've learned to love myself so much that you couldn't pay me to eat a fast food burger from some of those places. The better food, the better quality food you start putting in yourself, the more you're gonna feel better. If you had a Ferrari, you pull up to the gas station, you don't put the cheapest gas in it, you put the most expensive gas in it, and there's a reason for that. It's the same thing with us. Next thing, you need to get out in nature like this and go for walks. In today's society, you turn on your Wi-Fi and you get like 30 to 50 different hits, which means that all these different Wi-Fis are going through our body, not to mention everything we have in our homes. It's just like some pretty nasty energy. So when we get out into nature where there's not 100 Wi-Fi signals, all that trapped stagnant energy gets to be released, and it's like a reset, right? Get out in nature, clean up your diet, ask yourself who's your closest friends, look at your job. You know, is your job killing your soul? I had many things that I had to change in my life in order to get here. You know, I had to get a divorce. I had to quit a job. I had to do all these things I've talked about. And, you know, one of the biggest things for me, that's not going to be for everyone, but personally, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the shamans and the Reiki healers. Just some, you know, magnificent people in the spiritual community that, you know, really helped me see a way out. And so I would recommend, if you feel like you have no one, to search like a meditation group in your area, and then go to one of these meditations, and 9 times out of 10 there's going to be someone there that's intuitive, and they're just going to come up to you without even saying anything, and you're going to learn things, and you're going to meet people, and they're going to be able to teach you things. So I highly recommend these individuals. But if that's not for you, then, you know, if the people around you can't help you, then it's time to reach out and talk to someone, maybe the conventional way. But these are just some things you need to know if you're depressed AF. I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.